Hey everybody. I don't usually go live at night, but I just wanted to come on here because, it was really shocking about Lisa Marie dying suddenly of a massive heart attack. Late in the day, I saw a headline that she had been rushed to the hospital. I believe it is in Los Angeles, and she had just been to the Golden Globe premiere of the movie about her father. Now her father's birthday is January 8th, and I think the Globes were January 8th, Sunday night. And I've always, kind of followed her. She had a tough road. I mean, she definitely had, I guess, as much money as she wanted and a loving mother. But, as far as whatever she wanted to do in her life, it's almost more difficult. And yes, she did want to do music. She did want to sing, and she was a singer-songwriter. And yet she didn't get a lot of attention for that, She produced an album about 11 years ago, maybe more, with the producer T-Bone Burnett. I think he did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That music from there, that was really good. And that album was really good. She can sing, and she's a deep person. It's like not everyone is going to be a chart topper, and she was probably more famous for her marriages than anything else. But as far as her cause of death, I'm not trying to tie it to the recent events, except that it is part of the story of many, many excess deaths, statistically, and sudden deaths that are happening. Now, as far as figuring out one way or the other whether getting the therapy that's being pushed by the government has contributed to heart failure, there is a way to tell. And the regular autopsy procedure does not detect the problems that arise from the creation of spike protein that is basically like a runaway train. And we've seen studies that, the creators of the therapy said that it only stays in the muscle where it was injected, but there is a way to determine whether you have spike protein damage in the rest of your body as well as in the heart. You can take a tissue sample. If your loved one dies, you can take a tissue sample, and there is a pathologist. He's the only pathologist, as far as I know, in the United States who will do this test. But there is a stain that he can do on the tissue to detect the presence of spike protein damage. And so, we have NPR coming out and interviewing the wife of Grant Wall, the reporter, the sports reporter who died at the World Cup. And she happens to be a doctor. I think she was even on the board of the CDC's, vaccine board. And she was complaining to NPR that anti-vaxxers were harassing her. And, she was getting really horrible hate mail, and they're just so horrible and unscrupulous, and they're just trying to make money off of her husband's tragedy. And it was like, wow, that's crazy. How is she so sure? Well, the article starts off by saying he did not die of complications, adverse events from that. And, but the thing is that this is such a unique situation. The COVID virus is so unique, and the spike protein that comes from it is so unprecedented. And the way that it fuses to the human cells and how many different human cells that it does fuse to, that it actually makes sense that there isn't a way to detect the effects of that through normal autopsies where you're not looking for it. And so the guy's name who does these tests is Ryan Cole, Dr. Ryan Cole. He has his own lab in Idaho, and he has been on Rumble talking about this. So I just want to say, like, you know, it's not just crazy anti-vaxxers that are, you know, harassing this poor widow. It's actually thousands and thousands of very respected cardiologists, epidemiologists, virologists from very respected universities, who, even ones that started out getting the therapy, they got the jab, and then they had complications, and they looked into it. So we are getting a lot of excess deaths, a lot more than you think. And I just, you know, I just don't want to keep silent about it. Of course, we want to be respectful of those who have passed, but we also want to honor them by preventing, if it's preventable, things from happening again. So I see a couple people came on and then left. I'm not sure. I know that AI tries to monkey around with my visibility. So anyway, I just, you know, I just wanted to come on and say something. And I hope that wherever she is, Lisa Marie is at peace and hopefully seeing her father, or, you know, some kind of variation of that. But she had a very up and down life, and then she suffered from her son, who looked a lot like Elvis, dying at 27 a couple years ago. So very sad, and we wish the family well. So stay tuned. I am working on an article about this subject. I haven't written an article in a while, but I've been doing a lot of videos. So make sure you catch up on the videos on YouTube or here on Facebook. And hope you have a great night. So remember, there's a way to find these things out. There always is. But the news will always say that it's nebulous, you know, oh no. Or they'll say that they're sure of something when it's impossible for them to really be sure. There hasn't been enough time that's passed. So keep your eye on it. Keep checking in with us. We try to give you the breaking news. And above all, keep calm and share complete facts.